one of the world's best-known hockey logos, and some of the most loyal fans will pack this new arena tonight, hopeful to see their Sharks prey on Toronto. Stanley Cup mania has enveloped San Jose, California. Just when you thought it was safe, here come the Sharks, chewing up the favorites. Igor Larionov leading the Shark attack with 12 postseason points. Little Artur Zerbe has been a tower of strength and goal, and Sergei Makarov's 6 goals are tied for the league lead. The Sharks have been the surprise of the playoffs, fighting Detroit and taking 1 out of 2 in Toronto. Now the scene shifts to San Jose, where the fans are chomping at the bit to cheer on their Cinderella heroes at the Shark Tank. And where S.J. Sharkey is as well known as any public figure. And where no out-of-town fan is safe, no matter how young. Yes, just when you thought it was safe, here come the Sharks, swimming for the Stanley Cup. National Hockey Night brings us live to the San Jose Arena, affectionately known as the Shark Tank, where Northern California hockey fans are in a feeding frenzy over the success of their San Jose Sharks. Tonight it's Game 3 of this Western Conference semifinal, the Sharks hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs. And a very pleasant good evening to you, everyone. I'm Tom Mees, and I'm in one of the loudest, most excitable buildings in North America, the brand new San Jose Arena. Joining me now is Darren Pang. Darren, you played goal in Chicago Stadium, one of the loudest buildings. How does this rate?
Boy, I've heard a lot of great stories about the Shark Tank, and it's telling us right now that this is a very excitable crowd, almost a college atmosphere, a mature college atmosphere.
They sell this building out just about every night, over 17,000 fans, and it's really been a Cinderella ride. 11 wins a year ago, and now here they are in the second round of the playoffs.
And you look at their top line, you look at Larionov, you look at Garpenlov, and you look at Makarov, and that's a very talented group of hockey players, and that's really offensively what is carrying the San Jose Sharks. But they were missing in Game 2, and as you see, only 2 shots amongst the 3, and that's the key to their success.
And now the Sharks take the ice, head the Shark Tank, watch and enjoy. Everyone, one of the most remarkable openings in all the sport. Game 3 awaits. The Sharks and the Leafs. The series tied at 1. Steve Levy and Barry Melrose will be joining us from our studio right after these words.
The Driving Machine, and by Dunlop Sports, maker of quality rackets and balls.
And the opening face-off of Game 3, Western Conference semifinals, is underway as Andy Van Hellemond drops the puck. Kevin Collins, Dan Sackey, the linesman, and immediately an icing call against the Toronto Maple Leafs. In the nets tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs, maybe the hottest goalie in the playoffs, Darren.
Is there any question that Felix Potvin is going to play? None whatsoever. Felix Potvin has matured as this playoffs has gone on, and no longer does he have to rely on a ton of shots every game. He's just managing to come up with a big save, and obviously those numbers show a lot about Felix Potvin.
And the little Latvian they love here in San Jose, Artur Zerbe, will be in the net for the San Jose Sharks.
Not very big, but they call him the Wall right here in San Jose, and he's been a pillar of strength for San Jose.
Face-off in the Toronto zone. Peter Zezel loses one. That's news. With it for San Jose is Jason Moore. Dave Andrechuk takes it away from him. The Sharks definitely want to be more physical in this game than they were in Toronto in Game 2. The Maple Leafs definitely took it to him with a body in Maple Leaf Gardens just a couple of nights ago. Here comes Dave Ellett out of his own end, but gives it right away to Moore. Dellett was hit hard right after the pass by Shark captain Bob Airy.
One of the impressive things about San Jose is their ability to bounce back from lopsided defeats, as attested by game number 6 in Detroit when they lost 7-1. They bounced back with that impressive win in game 7. A real mature group of hockey players, and let's not think that this is an expansion club anymore. They're 3 years old and they've got a whole different regime in the coaching staff and players as well.
Interesting that Pat Burns of Toronto is starting the checking line as Jesselberg and Osborne to take the body to some of the Sharks and try and take this crowd a little bit out of the game early. Well, that opening was impressive.
I don't think he'll take the crowd out of this game no matter what happens in this game. Very loyal following.
Jamie McCown lost one in on Irbe from center ice. And to save there is Kevin Constantine, the only American-born coach now in the National Hockey League.
Talking about, of course, the main guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here, Kevin Constantine on Doug Gilmour. I'm not surprised by anything Doug Gilmour does. He's one of my top 2 or 3 players in the league. And when he was saying that, he almost said he's my favorite. He just got a burst full of energy and enthusiasm when talking about Doug Gilmour. But that's obviously a key for Kevin Constantine, but he's done a remarkable job. And Doug Gilmour on the ice, of course, and spent the last 10 minutes of game 2 in Toronto in the locker room, try to rest up that right side of his leg.
And he wouldn't take the uniform off. That's interesting. He just sat there. He was still dressed in case they needed him. All right, play back on to the San Jose end. Johan Garpenlov out there with Makarov and Larionov. But here's a breakout pass intercepted. Back behind his own net is Sandis Ozolinsh. Ozolinsh and Irbe, the 2 Latvians on this multinational squad. Johan Garpenlov, a Swede, has it knocked back to center.
Here's the key line for San Jose in terms of offense, and that's the weaving of the San Jose Sharks, and they will not dump the puck in this line unless they absolutely have to.
Larionov carries in Garpenlov in the slot, but his shot hits the leg of defenseman Sylvain Lefebvre, who's been a tower of strength for the Leafs here in this series. Also played well in their first-round series against Chicago. Puck back at center. Gaetan Duchesne dumps in, but Mike Gartner is right there for the Leafs. Oh, a dangerous pass by Jamie McCown, almost intercepted. Gartner will dump in for Toronto. Irbe leaves it for Todd Ellick. Ellick picked up just before the season from the Edmonton Oilers. Dmitry Mironov intercepted by Ellick at center. The San Jose style, Darren, sort of like a counter-puncher in boxing.
Very patient style. They're looking for turnovers. They're looking for the play on the 5-on-5.
Peterson with a bad angle shot, gets his own rebound, couldn't control it. Another backhand, and Putnam made the save as the shot came in off the stick of Todd Ellick. It looked like an innocent-looking shot, but that weak backhand almost fooled Putnam.
Well, the first shot from the short side, Putnam was leaning against his post and went away from it, and was able to make the first save, and then had his stick straddle along the length of the ice and made the second one.
Anthony Wendell Clark knocked down at the blue line by Sean Cronin. So the Leafs are getting and absorbing some physical punishment at the beginning of this game. Here's Gilmour. Will they let him gain the zone? They will not. Bob Airy was on Gilmour that time. Constantine doesn't like to use the word shadow on Gilmour. Score! Shadow Bob Airy as his shot eluded Felix Potvin. It didn't look like a dangerous chance, Darren, but it's 1-0 San Jose.
Well, 14 players in the regular season at double digits in terms of scoring. They talk about the depth here in San Jose, not necessarily the 60-goal kind of guy, but again, a turnover at the blue line as the San Jose Sharks are standing up. Jamie Baker, the hero in Game 7 against Detroit, follows it through with a flip backhand pass, and this shot should be stopped, and it was a flutterer. It was a knuckleball that clearly Jimmy Waite should have had, but Bob Airy's shot eludes him, and it's a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Potvin sort of waved on that as it was going by his glove. We're so used to Felix Potvin being the wall in Toronto. Frankly, that shot eluding him, Darren, surprised me. Actually, it surprised him, too. And Pat Burns. So Bob Airy gets credit for the goal. His second of the Stanley Cup playoffs to San Jose in a moment.
Steve Levy back in our National Hockey Night studios. Dallas and Vancouver. Just a minute 5 in. Jeff Brown, the feed to Trevor Linden. Going in one-on-one on Andy Moog. The old 5-hole. 1-0 Canucks. Tom and Darren.
It's do or die time for the Dallas Stars on the road down 2-0 in that series. Play back on here at the San Jose Arena. Bob Berry has scored for the Sharks. Jamie Baker gets the assist on that goal. Here's a shot by Bill Berg. Wide. Peter Senzel in the corner. Ozolinsh is on him. Larionov knocking Berg off the puck. Ozolinsh. Say the Sharks are being physical early on. Now it's Senzel behind the San Jose net. Knocked down again. Well, San Jose is taking the body early. Here's Igor Larionov. Has some room. Puck in the corner. Norton keeps it behind the Toronto net for Lefebvre. Police break out with Berg and McRae. Kenny McRae coming down the slot, but Hervé directed to the corner. And out comes Makarov. Larionov to Peterson. Peterson dumps in the corner for Dmitry Mironov. A collision between McRae and Vlastimil Krugla at center ice. O'Donnell trying to get by Mironov, can't do it. Kenny Baumgartner playing the second game in a row this series. Gets to Mike Gartner, third game in a row since then. It's Duchesne up to Alec. Duchesne on left wing, he's alone.
Boy, he's been out a long time, Duchesne. He was with Makarov and Larionov. Normally Garpenlov would be on that line, but Duchesne, he's been on this ice for, and now he finally came off the ice. We have a whistle. But getting back to the goal, the first goal of the game, obviously very important. And when you look at San Jose, they don't come often, but they play their style so well when they have a lead. This shot on end, kind of a knuckler, caught the bottom cuff of the glove of Potvin, but you see where Felix is in the net. Very shallow in his net, not challenging, really not expecting that to be a hard shot, and it wasn't a hard shot, and it does just go to show you that it can be simplicity that gets in the net. Meanwhile, Pat Burns, of course, the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, that's exactly what he did not want to see happen to begin this hockey game. They're fully aware that the importance of the first goal. Neither one of these teams have lost a game when they have scored the first goal of the series so far in the 94 playoffs.
Behind his own net to Todd Gill. Wendell Clark surrounded. Gets it out to Eastwood. Gartner overskates and the puck is loose at center. Here comes Whitney. He's got Erie with him. Todd Gill pokes it away momentarily. Erie back to the point. Cronin keeps it in. Jamie Baker along the boards. The Leafs clear at the center momentarily. Broken stick out in front of Puckman.
Dave Ellett had snapped the blade right off of his stick, and he had gone about 20 seconds without one. Maple Leafs still composed in their own zone. I think they've been through enough, Tom, that we've seen that they won't be rattled by a one-goal deficit.
No, they're an excellent road team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't get nervous at all. They're very patient, play their system. They're down a goal early, but I've seen it several times the last few years. They can come back. Here comes Senzel. Senzel, and the shot's a save by Hervé, who scoops it up with Osborne coming down the slide.
That's the first shot by Toronto on Archer. We're going to call him Archie a lot of times. The hometown crowd seems to like Archie, but Hervé is the way they like to pronounce the name. And Archer's, this is first shot. Peter Zezel on a real sharp angle, the same type of angle that Bob Erie just scored on, but the positioning and how squared up Artur Hervé is on that. Again, off the cuff of the glove, and then he's able to handle onto the rebound a little bit, but it just caught him on that fat part of the glove, which is often like the blocker. Gloves are getting very, very wide. Peter Zezel, meanwhile, not afraid to shoot on the sharp angle, and he's an important part of the program for Toronto. Did a nice job of shadowing the likes of Jeremy Roenick in the first series, and he'll be facing off against Larionov whenever possible.
And there they are right now to the left of Hervé, or Hervé, I should say, and Senzel is asked to leave. Mark Osborne will take his place. Osborne wins it back to Berg. Lefebvre pitching in. Weak backhander, and Hervé makes the save. Ozolinsh to Makarov. At center. Garpenlov. Norton has it taken away by Osborne, and back to Garpenlov. Larionov to a breaking Ozolinsh. Ozolinsh to Makarov. He's in deep. Now it's Ozolinsh to Larionov and over his stick.
See Sandis Ozolinsh. This is the five-man unit that Kevin Constantine tells them go with it anytime you get a chance. You're a five-man group. Be creative and do the offensive stuff that you're capable of doing.
At center, it's Makarov. Dumps in as he was falling to his knees, and back with it is Jamie McCown. 1-0 San Jose if you're just tuning in National Hockey Night tonight. Game 3, series tied at 1. Here's Ellick on the left wing. Buffet takes him out, but it's Duchesne behind the net. Nikolai Borshevsky poke checks it away. And the Sharks can't keep it in. Krupa goes back with Gilmore on his tail, and Gilmore takes it away. To Borshevsky, he's in, he scores! Borshevsky gets the goal, but credit the work to Superman, better known as Doug Gilmore.
Well, Gilmore did the play in the offensive zone, but Borshevsky, that's his first goal of the playoffs. Now, here's a guy that Toronto's saying, we need some other guys to step it up offensively after a good postseason last year. But a little bit of a turnover here as Doug Gilmore does the initial work in hooking Krupa, and then Borshevsky follows it up with a good play, going to his forehand, trying to get Irbe to go down, and Irbe did go down just long enough for Borshevsky to fire it in low to the stick side.
Nikolai Borshevsky, his first playoff goal since Game 7 a year ago in the first round against the Detroit Red Wings when he won that game in overtime. Behind the San Jose net, it's Peterson.
Scored by number 16, Nikolai Borshevsky.
Out with it comes Duchesne. Here comes big old Dahlin. Dahlin into the corner. Dahlin still with it. Mironov takes him down. Fans want a penalty, won't get it. And Hellman was right on the play there. Rouse behind his own net for Toronto. Here comes Gilmore at center. They'll double back. 11:15 to go in the first period. Jason Moore in the corner. Almost lost it. Pat Falloon with it now. Falloon takes a hard hit from Eastwood. We have a stoppage in play. We're tied at 1 in San Jose.
Welcome back to the Shark Tank. You see Nikolai Borshevsky, he's responsible for the game-tying goal as San Jose scored the first one off Bob Aries' shot from the weak angle, and Borshevsky has answered the bell, and the Maple Leafs have got it tied up at 1.
And 11 minutes even now to play in the first period. Sharks won Game 1 at Toronto. Toronto won Game 2. Here comes Pat Falloon. Can't get around the checking of Todd Gill.
One-on-one, Falloon can be a pretty tricky hockey player, and credit Todd Gill for not looking at the puck and taking them in.
Todd Cronin delivers a hit on Mike Gartner, and that brought the fans to their feet here. Jamie Baker dumps in. Pat Falloon will hold it in. Elito forces it loose, and Wendell Clark to center. Here comes Gartner. Advance at the kill, but Ozelich will get there first. Fight for possession comes to Jeff Norton. Falloon breaks out for San Jose. That's not booing. The fans yelling Falloon. Falloon here in the arena. #1 draft pick of the Sharks as they enter the NHL 3 years ago. Norton for the point. Save, Potvin. Again, an innocent-looking shot. Not a lot of steam on it, but Felix Potvin had to be quick.
Well, the key to that was the movement in the offensive zone, and Norton waited for one of his teammates to cross the path of Potvin, and that enabled the screen to happen.
Gartner off of that can, and Felix Potvin closed the legs in time for the save.
Again, the big line for San Jose, creating all the offense. Man, every time they touch the puck, these fans just go crazy. And well, they should, because these are the guys that are the creative guys. These are the guys that can do magic with the puck. And they play, obviously, a European game, but you see Garpenlov taking the pass right on the tape, going to the backhand. Now, this is a tough shot for him to score on, but he's trying to go between the legs. But before that, Larionov plays the puck back to the point. Now, Norton is the guy on the point, the only North American on the point, waiting for a guy to go in front of the net. That's Garpenlov, and that's a neat little redirection, and Potvin makes a good save.
Face-off in the Toronto zone coming up. What a story these San Jose Sharks are. You see the fans with the flags and the pom-poms. I mean, last year this franchise lost 71 games. They started 0-8-1 this season, Darren, but boy, has Constantine Boyd turned it around since then.
Well, different coaching staff, a couple of key free agents and signings in the offseason, starting right there with Larionov and Makarov. And yes, a brand new building that generates noise, like I've never imagined in a brand new building. I guess it's not the building, it's the fans you put in the building.
So it reminds you of the building you used to play in, Chicago Stadium. It rivals it.
It's amazing. It really is amazing, the genuine excitement and enthusiasm and energy that goes right from the fans to the players.
That's definitely part of the show here in San Jose. Peterson dumps into the corner for the Sharks. Potvin behind his own net. Dahlin pinching in. Almost had a turnover, but it's back to center. Krupa has it taken away by Pearson. And McRae is down for Toronto, just inside the San Jose zone. Did not see what caused it.
Well, Krupa is the guy. 26 White, the 18-year-old, the second youngest player in the National Hockey League, got caught with a high stick on McRae, and his stick came up high and it caught the left side of McRae's face. Just the blade come of his stick in a back-checking play after a turnover in the neutral zone. Krupa, the second youngest player in the National Hockey League, the youngest player in the league, goes to Gratton of Tampa Bay, and he's going to go off for high sticking. It was an unintentional high stick. Krupa is searching for the puck after he gave it away right at the center ice area. Puck was bouncing a little bit, rolled right over his stick, and as McRae followed up with it on the right side, you see the stick blade just barely nipping the left side of the face of McRae, and Andy Van Hellemond was right there, and although it wasn't intentional, look, Krupa's heading off the ice.
We'll see how long a penalty the Sharks will have to kill in a moment.
Welcome to the Shark Tank in San Jose, California. Key play to this hockey game. Krupa's going to go off for a game misconduct for high sticking. That will enable the Toronto Maple Leafs to go on a 5-minute power play advantage. And quite frankly, I don't think that deemed a 5-minute major. It was a very intentional play, but Andy Van Hellemond saw it the other way. And it doesn't mean if there's blood or what have you that it's an automatic 5. It's up to the discretion of the referee. Andy Van Hellemond chose a game misconduct.
So the Sharks will be short of defensemen as Krupa is gone for the night. 5 minutes and a game misconduct. But the more immediate problem for San Jose is killing off this 5-minute penalty. Remember, in a major, you can score as many times as you want. Mironov with a shot, hits the leg of the defenseman in front. Mironov and Ellis along with Gilmore, Gardner, and Andrechuk on the power play unit. Hervey. Poke checking it away from the long irons of Andrechuk. Cronin doesn't get it out, though. Cronin in the corner, picks his spot, and clears to center. Elliott Mironov back on the points. Now Borshevsky is on. Nikolai Borshevsky, the goal scorer tonight for Toronto. He avoids Cronin. It's not a bad idea. Borshevsky now to Gilmore. Gilmore, Mironov, Hervey is down, and Cronin just sweeps it away. That was going in, and Sean Cronin played goaltender and kept it a tie game. Here's Elliott in the corner. And Goodrow sweeps it down the ice.
Fans responding, and well they should. Nice play by Cronin, but as well, Hervey had a chance to bring Mironov wide enough. Mironov had no angle whatsoever to put that in. Nice play by Hervey.
A giveaway in the zone, and the shot is wide by Wendell Clark. Jamie McCown. Eastwood in the corner along with Gardner. 3:17 left to go in the 5-minute major to San Jose. The shot from Gill hits the stick of Baker. And Jamie Baker will clear it.
Nice job by Sandis Ozolinsh taking out the body, and the penalty killer so far for San Jose, extremely aggressive on the Toronto Maple Leafs. At every chance, they're trying to jump right over to them on the perimeter. But meanwhile, Mironov again, a defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is no surprise, folks. A defenseman moving in from the point on the power play. Elliott and Mironov are excellent at this, reading the situation. Mironov goes wide, thinks he can come back maybe and tuck it in on the backhand, but the post sort of got in his way, and it's Big Sean Cronin that comes in and takes the errant puck. From the overhead angle, this is a good view of it because there's no angle right there to shoot the puck, but often the player will try to bring it in and sort of go to the backhand and shovel it in. But Sean Cronin's the guy, Johnny on the spot, and he's able to clear away the chance by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Good pressure by Toronto, though, and a nice play by Mironov to read the situation. While all the San Jose Sharks and the Maple Leafs were deep to the right of Hervey, in comes Mironov on the right point.
Ray Whitney has been sent to the penalty box. And that's to sit out the 5-minute major. They just announced Whitney's name. I don't know why they didn't make that announcement earlier. Whitney is sitting there in place of Krupa, who received a game misconduct. So still 2:46 left to go in the major, and the Sharks clear the zone again.
In a 5-minute major, you don't have to send that man out right away. At the first whistle or what have you, you can send a guy in there, and that's why Whitney's serving that penalty to Krupa.
Here's Duchesne at center. And Duchesne, instead of blasting it in, just bleeds it into the Toronto zone.
One thing to note about Toronto's power play, so far in the playoffs, they're ranked #1 in the league on the road. 42.5% is how they've scored goals, and that's incredible. One of the reasons why they're still playing.
San Jose Sharks have yet to give up a power play goal here at home in the playoffs. So something's got to give, Darren.
Well, we saw Detroit came in here in the first round and had an awful lot of trouble. Couldn't score on 13 chances here at the Shark Tank.
Under 2 minutes to go, and the major penalty to San Jose. Irbe behind his net, but he gives it away to Gilmore. Will it cost him? No, because Ozolinsh clears the zone again.
Irbe's not very good at playing the puck around the net, and he gets himself in a load of trouble, but give him credit for trying.
Irbe in front of his crease with Borschewski bearing in. He'll hang on for a face-off. Let's take a look at the Molson Ice League leaders on our National Hockey Night telecast from San Jose. Doug Gilmore, with that assist on the Borschewski goal, is now the leading scorer in the playoffs, but Pavel Bure is playing tonight. Let's keep that in mind. And Larionov right behind Gilmore, Leach and Bure. And there's a look at the man they call Superman in Toronto.
That's where that 13th point came in. I was looking, and it was Doug Gilmore that had an assist on the only goal Toronto scored, but Igor Larionov as well, known in of course his native country is the Wayne Gretzky of the world. Wow, what a creative offensive player he is. And again, not a very big guy, but in Vancouver he was utilized primarily as a defensive specialist and a penalty killer. How's that for hiding the goods?
Not bad. Face off to Gill at the point. Gardner with it. He's on with McCown, Gilmore, and Andrechuk for the final minute 25. Shot is a save, and Jason Moore clears it to center.
Jamie Baker and Gaetan Duchesne doing an excellent job all year long for the Sharks in penalty killing.
Borschewski dumps it on Irbe. Oh, hits the back of his defenseman Baker, and here comes Moore to clean it up. But Gill keeps it in for Toronto. Borschewski in the corner. Gilmore with it now. Minute to go in the major penalty. Still 1-1. Gill with a shot. Hits traffic in front. They clear it.
Excellent again. Jamie Baker, second key shot block in this game. You know, not too many guys will put the body down and make those shot blocks, especially forwards. Nice job by Baker.
40 seconds to go in the major to San Jose, and what a lift it would be if the Sharks could kill this penalty. Offsides on Doug Gilmore. Let's check in with Steve Levy.
All right, Tom, thanks. The Canucks leading 1-0 in the first against Dallas. Barry Melrose talked about the speed of Pavel Bure. Here's some of that speed. Andy Moog got a piece, and the rest of it got the post. That led to a penalty and a power play. And on the power play, Bure through traffic. He's now the leading goal scorer in the playoffs with 7. It's now 2-0.
Let's update that point leaderboard again, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Bure. And meanwhile, Jamie Baker again, as we see the point on the power play, the puck goes back to Todd Gill. He's going to let it rip, but great block by Baker, just sliding, getting the shin pads on it.
The young Sharks center acting like a defenseman on that play. Not often you see those forwards sacrifice their body for the goalies, huh?
Always notice that, guys like that, but it's only a key, and it's magnified more so obviously in playoffs, because the minute that puck squeaks through some players, there's always that chance it can go in the net no matter how hard or easy it is.
20 seconds left in the major, but breaking out with it is Baker. This is what I call ragging the puck and killing the penalty time. Take it down behind the other team's net. Only 10 seconds left.
And he just gave Mike Gardner an elbow to the face.
Baker and Gardner go down in a hump, and they're both going off.
You know, the crowd's sort of getting on Andy a little bit, Andy Van Hellemond, but I tell you, and Gardner looks a little bit like he's cut, but it's Jamie Baker had come back and he was in traffic. There were 3 or 4 Maple Leafs around him, and as he was trying to track back to his bench, he saw Gardner there and gave him a good little right elbow, and Mike Gardner wears that visor that covers, well, his forehead right down to his nose, and it's still got underneath all that. You're going to see Baker on the right-hand side in traffic. There's that elbow, and his stick came up as well, and I'm not sure why Mike Gardner's going down for the penalty at all, really, in that situation. He sort of fell on top of him. But it was Jamie Baker trying to get to his bench.
Now keep in mind there, as Baker sits down, Whitney is the young man on the left. He'll be out in 7 seconds. As the partisans here in San Jose have come up with all sorts of clever signs tonight, welcoming the Toronto Maple Leafs to town.
Well, what a key for the penalty killers of San Jose. Obviously a huge lift. A 1-0 lead gets tied 1-1 by the visiting Maple Leafs. And now you kill off a 5-minute major. Man, you can gain a lot of energy by scoring a ton of goals, but also by stopping on a 5-minute.
Well, killed it off in 2 seconds as soon as Whitney is out of the box, and he is. The major is killed off. It's 4-on-4 hockey now. Whitney will take the shot. Save. Rebound to Zezel. Here comes Peter Zezel to center. Norton with Ozolinsh. Zezel in the corner. Larionov. Makarov. Deep in his own zone. A risky pass. Works to center. Ozolinsh with it. It's Makarov at the blue line. They're onside. The pass to the breaking Ozolinsh. The backhand. A penalty call coming up. Penalty call coming up on the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Sharks in a power play when we come back.
The creativity and imagination of this big line for San Jose. And here's how the big guys go. Makarov now takes it across the blue line. Here's Makarov right here. He's going to take the puck, and instead of going to the net, stop it right here. Look at this pass right on the tape. Sandis Ozolinsh, and Ozolinsh gets the backhand in. But again, it's Makarov seeing the ice as well as he does. That was a pinpoint perfect pass and enables San Jose to get a good chance. And now they'll go on their second power play.
Well, the Maple Leafs penalty killers ranked number 2 in the National Hockey League in the postseason. 78.6%. Actually, that's incorrect. You're ranked number 12. Number 12. They're not doing a bang-up job. Here's Ron Goodrow for San Jose. He's out there along with Peterson and Ellick. Here's Peterson. Whitney is out there along with Hope Dolan. That's the 5-man power play unit for San Jose. Ellick takes the shot. It hits the leg of Dave Ellett. Hits the padding and all the way down the ice. Irbe will leave it for Goodrow. Playing with a broken nose behind that full face shield. Ron Goodrow, Rhode Island native, wanted to take the shield off. Doctor said, forget it. Your nose is too tender. Here's Larionov. Garpenlov taken away by Bill Berg. Berg is away with it 1-on-2 and just dumps one in on Irbe. Jeff Norton with it. Not a shot on goal yet in the San Jose power play, which has 40 seconds to run. And offside, says linesman Dan Shakty. Garpenlov goes down, but no penalty call. Look at that on that major power play for Toronto. That's unbelievable. 0 shots.
Not a sniff. Credit to San Jose for keeping it on the perimeter, but also for Toronto for really not doing the simple things. And the simple things basically are getting the puck on net and creating havoc in front of Irbe, and they didn't do that. I think they were looking for the fancy play. Of course, in the 5-minute major, you get plenty of opportunity. And there's the mouth of McRae. He took that errant high stick, and that's what led to the 5-minute power play.
With 2:05 to go in the period, our first intermission, the Dodge Intermission Report, Stars Canucks highlights from Vancouver, and a preview of Game 4 of the Caps Rangers series. The way the Rangers are going, they look like a runaway diesel on a downhill grade. Don't get in their way.
It's like when I draw on that telestrator. Don't get in my way.
But you kept up with the play so beautifully. The fastest pen in the West.
My 4-year-old boy Tyler could draw better than that.
Here's Jeff Norton coming out of his own zone. 22 seconds left to go in the San Jose power play. Ozolinsh is in, but Ellett is right in front of him. Takes him to the corner, does his job well. Garpenlov tried to get it to Larionov. Less than 10 seconds now, and Osborne will be out. 1-1 hockey game late in the first. And a whistle at the blue line. Stoppage in play with 1:27 to go in the period and 1 second left in the penalty to Osborne of Toronto.
There's what is, I think that it's commonly known as super pass in the NHL, but that's a compliment to Bill Berg. Picked up on waivers last year from the New York Islanders. He's doing his dirty work, and right as soon as Larionov had the puck outside in the neutral zone, there was Bill Berg all over him. But he plays both ends of the ice. He tries to get in the face of opponents, and a key part of what the Toronto Maple Leafs are all about. I'm sure Pat Burns wouldn't want him to change his style at all. very effective at what he does.
Face-off just outside the Toronto zone. Osborne is out, penalty over. He's back to find the side. Here's Matt Balloon at center. Balloon. Big shot stopped by Lefay. Airy, the goal scorer tonight for San Jose. Balloon couldn't control. Here's a shot from the point by Peterson. And Felix, the cat putback, got a piece of that one.
That shot that went right off the blocker of Felix Potvin, went right up on his defenseman, Jamie McCown, hit him right in the face.
Ouch. What does your defenseman say to you at a time like that?
I don't think they mind as long as the red light's not on. You know, it's one of those things where you're all in it together.
Gets down Duchesne at his own zone. The center ice down, 35 seconds left in the period. Ellick taken hard to the boards by Sylvain Lefay, and here comes Gilmore. Dmitry Mironov tries to split the defense, no go. Osborne into the corner, Jason Moore takes him out. Well, the Sharks have come out hitting tonight. Wendell Clark at the side of the net, and Irbe has it covered. Time for one more rush for San Jose if they choose. 10 seconds to go in the period, actually less than that. Clark is checking Dahlen to a fairly well at center, and that'll do it for the first period of play. The series is even at 1, and Game 3 is even at 1 after 1. Bob Airy did the chores for San Jose. Nikolai Borshevsky for Toronto. So a good first period from the Shark Tank. 9-4, the shots on goal in favor of San Jose, and a lot of great hockey ahead of us on National Hockey Night. Let's go to our studios now. Steve Levy. Known as the San Jose Arena to those out-of-towners. But if you're from San Jose, it's the Tank. And they're all here, a sea of teal, cheering for their Sharks against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they're quite creative with their artwork as the second period is underway. With Darren Pang, I'm Tom Mees. National Hockey Night for the first night ever here in the city of San Jose on ESPN. And they welcomed us with open arms. Glad to have the national TV audience with them tonight on the West Coast. 1-1 the score as we open the second period. And here's Bob Airy, who's the goal scorer for San Jose. Puck gets launched at his skates, but he keeps it in the zone. The shot, score! Another goal in the early part of a period.
Well, they scored 3:21 into the first. A long shot by Jamie Baker from the top of the circle. Gets by Dougie Gilmore, and then looks like it's not deflected by Whitney. Instead, it goes off the arm or the blocker of the stick of Felix Potvin, and right up in the top corner of the net, Jamie Baker looks like he's going to get credit for the go-ahead goal.
29 seconds into the second period, the Sharks have struck. And Jamie Baker makes it a 2-1 hockey game. For number 13, Baker, that is his third goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Bob Airy will get the assist.
Again, very simple, though. Just putting the puck on net whenever given the chances. Playoff hockey, you don't get as many chances as maybe the regular season. Baker scored his third goal of the postseason.
Give another assist to Ray Whitney. So it's Baker scoring from Airy and Whitney at 29 seconds to the second period. 2-1 Sharks.
Oh, boy.
Almost an interception by Osborne.
One of the few bad passes by that big line on San Jose. Garpenlov nearly giving it away inside his own blue line.
Makarov. Garpenlov waits at center, but he'll just dump it into the Toronto zone, and the Sharks will get fresh bodies on. Lefay. Jamie McCown motors at center for the Leafs, who again trail by a goal. McCown looks to center, but it's knocked off his stick, and up comes Duchesne. Peterson with it for the Sharks. Peterson's got some room. He centers the shot. Hits Potvin in front. Rebound. Potvin with a save on Duchesne. Almost 3-1. Here's O'Felman. The wraparound, he scores! good. More offense, Darren.
That's for sure. Around the net, just before that, Duchesne has 2 good chances, and Felix Potvin looked like he might have rebounded from the 2 goals San Jose has scored, but Dahlin doing a great job around the boards, taking it on the backhand wrap, and somehow, somewhere, that got underneath the legs, and yes, Pat Burns has made a move towards changing his goaltender. I saw right after the goal had been scored, he walked over to the far end of the boards, he said a couple of things. Damian Rhodes, the backup goaltender, didn't put on his mask just yet. Pat Burns walked back to the middle of the bench, and then bang, he went back to the far end, and he's electing to go with Damian Rhodes after Felix the Potvin has been skinned so far by the San Jose Sharks.
Darren, you played this game at the highest level, and as Rhodes comes into the net, when I saw that goal go in, I said to myself, Felix Potvin has had better nights.
Never been able to get on a roll, and he went down prematurely. I still think that wraparound might have went off the skate of his defenseman right here, and no, it didn't go off anything. It just clearly went right through him, and the paddle of Potvin's stick was on the ice, but it wasn't in the right spot. And so far, yeah, you're right. Neither one of the 3 goals that have been scored on Felix Potvin, they all could have been had. Felix Potvin is such a competitor. He will not be bothered by this. That's what impresses me about Felix Potvin. He doesn't get bothered very easily. And to Pat Burns' credit, he sticks with his guy. And even the Cat right now, when you sit on the bench and you keep your helmet on, yes, sirree, right back on the ice you go. I'm just about to say that. And he is. Felix Potvin is going back on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Now, you picked up on that quite clearly. Why would Pat Burns make a switch like that?
I love this move.
Why would he do this?
I love this move. You know, it kind of gets the crowd going a little bit, or he's trying to take a little bit out of the crowd, I should say. And it gives them a little bit of a breather, and he tells Felix on the bench, get going, buddy. You're my main horse. Get back in the game.
No, Damian Rhodes, I guess, had his 15 seconds of fame, as Andy Warhol likes to say, and now he's back in the bench. And there's Arthur Zierbang, swept aside by Moore.
Another point about this play by Pat Burns is that, and we'll get in on this in a second. This game, 2-1 Leafs. Welcome back to San Jose Arena. The Sharks leading this one 3-1. Pat Burns just had a few select words for his team. He just made a move in goaltenders, taking Potvin to the bench, and then 15 seconds later putting him back on there. And I think that was a wake-up call to his entire team. And Pat Burns is telling them, I made that change. I'm letting you guys know you're not ready for this hockey game. You're not ready whatsoever. And by me embarrassing my goaltender, putting him on the bench for 15 seconds, he tells every one of these guys, let's get it together. Let's get things going. And Felix Potvin goes back into the net after just taking 15 seconds, 20 seconds to get things into perspective. And now he'll have a chance now to sort his game back on par, which clearly it hasn't been so far.
And the face-off just outside the Shark zone. 3-1. San Jose. Series even at 1. The game no longer even. 2 quick goals here to start the second period. Here's Sandis Ozolik. Ozolik with Garpenlov coming down the slot. Can't get it to him. One thing I noticed about Toronto, Darren, not nearly as physical as they were in Game 2. They're not taking the body at all throughout most of this game.
No, they clearly are not. And they're the bigger of the 2 teams. But yes, San Jose has dictated that so far.
Igor Larionov was almost in, but just ahead of his stick as McCown clears the center for Toronto. They are just beside themselves in this building in the city with the sudden success of the San Jose Sharks. Peter Zezel tries to steal it from Irbay. Loose puck behind the net. Irbay better get back in his net. Hilberg was buzzing right there at the side of the crease. Irbay fortunate there. His puck handling skills have come into question. But his coach, Kevin Constantine, says, I'll live with that because he does so much right. Now, when you have a 2-goal lead, I suppose you can live with some transgressions. Here's Todd Gill at center. Backhands into the Shark zone for Norton. Back to Gill at center. Up to Borshevsky. He's got the Toronto goal tonight. Nikolai Borshevsky pulls up behind the net. Todd Ellick in the corner. Ball rather. Here's Borshevsky. The shot, the save by Irbay. Andrechuk got it to Borschevsky, who got it on net. But Artur Zirbe out to challenge the shooter.
Yeah, that's what San Jose needs too, is now a big save. They need Irbe now with a 3-1 lead. They need the backstopper to make things happen as the MVP of San Jose turns it up a notch. Andrechuk doing some good work in the board, stripping the puck from Todd Ellick. Pass right in front, and it didn't look like Borschevsky got good wood on that, but Irbe again, before that, much maligned for his play outside the crease. The puck's on edge, doesn't know what to do with it. There's a hesitation. Instead of firing it right away and letting everybody know what he's doing, Irbe hesitates, and as his coach says, they should pay him more money because it's entertaining to see him outside that net. And it is.
And you gotta love your coach when he says they should pay you more money. That inspires loyalty. I love this guy. Puck in the Toronto zone. Todd Gill back in the corner. Gill and Elliott, steady defensive pairing. Here's Gilmore at center. You haven't heard much of Doug Gilmore since he assisted on Borschevsky's goal.
Haven't seen much of a lot of the Maple Leafs so far.
Yep.
One of the reasons I'm sure why Pat Burns was letting that team have it.
Andrechuk dumps in. Gilmore will chase, but Irbe is there well before him. Around the board, Gaetan Duchesne. Tom Peterson at center. Sharks will change a couple of bodies. Now a couple of more. The puck goes in behind the Toronto net. Puck comes clear to center. Mike Parker with all that speed. He can't use it here. Here comes Jamie Baker. Baker with Erie. Moore's the trailer. Baker takes the shot, and it goes through the crease just wide of the stick side. That was close.
Good traffic in front of Felix Potvin, though. Bob Erie had gone right in front of him, not allowing him to see that puck fully.
Oh! Center Baker is taken down on a hit by Gardner. Incidental contact, says Andy Van Hellemond. Ray Whitney with it. Now it's Jamie Baker. He's back on his skates. And he delivers a left cross to the face of Dmitry Mironov.
They expect Toronto to pick it up a big notch here, more physically, but again, San Jose doing a great job of taking away the neutral zone as they often employ this system.
Turnover at the blue line, Whitney and Mironov. Mironov gets the best of that physical confrontation. 3-1, San Jose. It's National Hockey Night on a Friday night from San Jose, California. There's the score. The Sharks lead the Leafs 3-1 with Darren Pang. I'm Tom Mees, and you're just getting home on the East Coast from a night out. Welcome to live Stanley Cup action on ESPN.
How do you keep up with what day it is, Tom?
That's a good question. I have to use all my mental capacities on that one, Darren. Limited though they may be. Sharks try and clear the zone. Can't do so. Zezel does a good job. I like the Zezel-Berg line. They always do a good job checking. There's a shot just wide and hit traffic in front. Shot came from the point. I'm not sure if Irbe got a piece of it, but it went wide, and the Sharks are fortunate. Makarov back in his own zone. That was a funny-looking play. Larionov and Ozolinsh. Berg takes it away from him. Tries to feed Osborne, but Ozolinsh retrieves. Johan Garpenlov clears the zone.
Well, often in that system of weaving and bobbing and going back in your own zone, you'll get burnt, but San Jose's big line did a nice job of recovering from that incident and regaining control.
Kenny Baumgartner on for Toronto. Bodies will fly. He's already hit Moore and Elliott. Puck at the point. Elliott can't keep it in. Oh. O'Donnell delivered a blow to Kenny McRae, who's had a tough night physically.
He's taking a high stick, but he's throwing the body around now.
Sean Cronin stands McRae up at center. Baumgartner and Moore. Round two. Todd Gill stands on the shot. Elliott takes it away from him. And Todd Elliott dumps it in on Huntman. Huntman almost gave that puck away. Dahlin has it. And Baker, the one-timer, fanned on it. Gilmore picks up a loose one in the corner. Taken from behind by Baker. Right back to Gill. Gilmore with Andrechuk, right wing. Shot just wide, stick side. Irbe came out to cut down the angle. Pearson now. Irbe with a stick save. It's Pearson again. Shot hits traffic in front. 11:31 to go in the period. 3-1 San Jose. Sharks trying desperately to clear the zone now as the Leafs are putting on some pressure. First time in the period. Toronto desperately tries to keep it in. It's under the big body of Sean Cronin. And a face-off with 11:20 left to go in the period. Let's check in with Steve Levy.
All right, Tom, thanks. They're underway in Vancouver. They're over with in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Lennox Lewis scores the 8th-round TKO over Phil Jackson, 135 of the 8th. His record at 25-0. The boxing world awaiting more Lewis to unify. Back to hockey.
All right, Steve, it's tea time for Lennox Lewis. He wins again.
Felix Potvin back in the net at one end. Arthur Zerbe standing up tall in the other net, although every time he leaves that net, it is an adventure, and he's leaving it quite often so far in this 3-1 game. I think at this point, it'd be wise to say that he should maybe stay in that net a little bit, and a bad goal at this point would be critical for Toronto. Now, Toronto, at this point, since they've pulled out Felix Potvin, they played a more physical style, and they've taken the play to San Jose.
Gilmore controlled the face-off. Iranov just dumps it in on Yerbay to get a line change. Again, Thornton out of his own zone. This will be icing on San Jose as soon as McCown touches up, and he does so with 11:05 to go in the period. Kevin Constantine behind the San Jose bench.
And he's trying to say there might have been some contact on that, but instead it's going to be to the left of Arthur Zerbe on an icing call. Baumgartner, meanwhile, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what stirred up the Maple Leafs. Good hit on Jason Moore. Both actually good collision by both guys, just one-on-one. And Baumgartner's that kind of guy. He's a role player that plays it tough. He can play D or he can play offense. He can play the wing, and that's what he's doing now. And again, Baumgartner, that was the second one. That one on Jason Moore. Just trying to stir it up. Pearson as well doing the dirty work. Now, Baumgartner had a broken hand, and he'd been out for some time. February 26th, he had that surgery. And he's come back. This is his third game playing for Pat Burns and the Maple Leafs.
Zezel's line is out there. That means Berg and Osborne. Zezel and Ellick for the faceoff. Still 11:05 to go here in the second period. Van Shakty giving a lecture to Todd Ellick. Faceoff won by San Jose. Old Dahlen at center. Berg is all over him. That means Dahlen is probably upset. Peterson and Moore. Defensive pairing for San Jose, and Peterson lost at the center.
See that play? I mean, bring it back, nothing to do, so let's just flip it out, and that's the way San Jose will play. Is it like watching paint dry? Well, yeah, sort of when they have the lead, and they're a good team when they have the lead.
And the Toronto media was all over them for this style of play, calling it boring, calling it not hockey for the ages, but hockey for the aged. But if it works, who cares, right? Toronto still trying to put pressure on, but no shot on Irvin. Here come the Sharks. Garfinlov on right wing to a breaking Larionov. He passes back to Makarov, but just failed to click. That would have been a pretty play if it worked.
They're so good at the cross-ice pass. Always dangerous, even with a 3-1 lead. This is the only line really on San Jose that'll keep that puck going forward. They won't sit on their heels.
Garfinlov, Makarov, and Larionov. The off line here in San Jose usually is on. Zezel takes it away, feeds Berg, back to Zezel in the corner. Zezel behind the net, he lugs the wraparound, but Makarov ties his stick up. Here comes Garfinlov, he's pulled down by Zezel, no penalty. As Van Helleman said, and the Sharks executed a dive. Fans think otherwise, as you would surmise they would. Norton with it in the corner for San Jose.
Yeah, I think that's a great no call by Andy Van Helleman. I mean, this is playoff hockey, and you're in the neutral zone. You know, you can't be diving like that every chance. They're not going to call it like in the regular season.
Here's Mike Gartner. Long blistering shot, but from center, and Irbe sticks it aside. Eastwood breaking in, steals the pass, though. Wendell Clark goes down, fighting for it. Todd Gill at center. Gardner has it stolen at the blue line. Ellick sweeps it to center for Duchesne, but he gives it away to Gill. Wendell Clark to the corner. Eastwood to Mike Gartner. Gartner got proved to be the series-winning goal against the Chicago Blackhawks in Game 6 of that first-round series. Dahlin in the corner. He and Eastwood with 8:25 to go in the period. Bob Airy back to Ozolinsh. Shot from the point, over the glass, into the crowd. Stoppage with 8:18 to go in the second. The only 2 goals of the period belong to the San Jose Sharks.
Steve Levy back in our National Hockey Night studios in Vancouver. Mike Modano pointless in the first 2 games. Gets the first shot, gets his own rebound, gets the goal, his first point. 3-2 Dallas. Tom and Darren.
Steve, back here at San Jose, some penalties whistled after the whistle stopping play. 2 for Toronto and 1 for San Jose. Baker sits for San Jose. Gill and Eastwood sit for Toronto. So the Sharks will have a power play, Darren.
That's what they need right now. When you look at a 3-1 lead, you go back to that first period, you can't help but think of the 5-minute major that the Maple Leafs had on the power play and didn't get anything. Not a sniff, not even a shot on goal. Meanwhile, Archer Zerbe right there, he'll have a little bit of a break. But one thing to keep in mind with the Toronto Maple Leafs, as we look at this, great response by the crowd, isn't it?
They eat it up, Darren. They eat it up.
Oh, you're bad, Tommy. Shorthanded goals 4, though. Maple Leafs have scored 2. That tied for number 1 in postseason play. So they're capable of scoring while shorthanded.
Baker and Eastwood were involved in a roughing and a holding the stick situation. Gill got the odd penalty for Toronto coming in late, and so the Sharks have a power play. Here's Goodrow with a shot. Rebound, Alec in front. And Putner held his ground that time. Peterson and Goodrow back at the point. Peterson the shot. The save, rebound in front. And Toronto can't clear the zone. Now it's McCown, and he will.
Boy, right after that, Dahlin's right on the face of Potvin, and Potvin took a swipe at him as Dahlin was leaving the crease. A lot of traffic in front.
Rod Goodrow looking like a college player with that full face shield on. As I said earlier, he wears it because of a broken nose. Peterson dumps in the corner. And it's under doctor's orders, too. He'd rather not wear it. Peterson keeps it in for Ellick. Whitney at the right point to Goodrow. Goodrow into the corner to Ellick. His back pass is intercepted by Gilmore.
That was a good pass, but Ellick didn't expect that pass on the one-timer.
44 seconds left in the extra penalty to Todd Gill. Jeff Thornton behind his net to Larionov. Right wing to Karpenloff. Larionov sets up. Norton. Ozolinsh is back there too. The shot is deflected just wide stick side. Ozolinsh to the point. Norton will set up. 15 seconds left in the Toronto penalty. 10 seconds in the penalty. Larionov down low. Makarov to Karpenloff, who just deflects it wide. Behind the net. Makarov in front. Ozolinsh with a shot and a save by Potvin as the penalty expires. Felix Potvin with his best save of the night.
Yeah, he's really coming on. Since giving up the 3rd goal, he's made a couple of real solid saves in goal for Toronto. But again, solid puck movement by the San Jose Sharks, keeping it on the perimeter. And at any given time, you see any one of their defensemen moving in. Ozolinsh trying to punch in from the blue line. And again, the puck in deep for San Jose. A little bit of traffic in front. This is the last shot by Ozolinsh. Good glove save by Potvin. One of the few times that there was no traffic in front. Earlier than that, though, there was a save on a shot that Potvin happened to get a stick on. It looked like a long shot, just got a stick on it. Send it over to the right side. Toronto having a tough time clearing the rebounds. But again, I'll go back to it. I love when a coach takes your goalie out, he struggles a little bit and throws him right back in the net. And Felix Potvin is responding from that move by Pat Burns. Faceoffs are obviously a key to the game. We see the series tonight, 15-13 in favor of San Jose. Make that 60.
Mason Moore with a shot from the point. It hits the leg of Kenny Baumgartner. Keeps her back in time beside everybody out of the box. That balloon dumps in the corner. Jamie Baker. Back to Sean Cronin. His shot hits traffic in front. So the Sharks still look like they're on a power play the way they're setting up. Cronin's shot deflected by Pearson. Another penalty coming up to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Sharks will be going on another power play. A cross-check coming back to San Jose.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy? You okay?
Cut it out. You're weirding me, man.
Stop looking at me like that, would ya?
You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're gonna twist my head off.
Welcome back to San Jose Arena. And again, the Toronto Maple Leafs are digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper. Pearson goes off for cross-checking. You're not allowed to hit a guy when he's facing the boards like that. And that's what Andy Van Hellemond has called. So the third power play of the night goes to San Jose.
And Peterson at the point gets things started. Dahlen in the corner. He's out there with Ellikin, Whitney, and Goodrow. Dahlen behind the net in front. They score! Sharks lead it by 3.
Second goal of the game for Dahlen. Ellick very patient on the outside. Looking for Dahlen again, his second wraparound goal. And he pulled it into the forehand this time, beating Lefebvre to the short side. And again, rolling underneath the stick of Potvin. Another one that Potvin he's just a step behind than he normally is in getting his stick down. But again, credit Dahlen because last time he went to the backhand around the net. This time he cut in to the forehand right in front.
Well, Dahlen gets it on the power play from Ellikin Peterson at 14-25. And San Jose is in control of this game 3, leading by 3 goals late in the second period. Of course, keep in mind one thing. They gave up a lead against the Detroit Red Wings in their series. That game, of course, was played in Detroit. They get a lead here in this building. They're awfully tough to beat. Mironov has to really turn on the jets to beat Whitney to a loose puck. Comes back to center under 5 minutes to play in the period now. Jeff Dorton at center, intercepted by Rouse. I'll tell you, the Leafs dare to me physically look lost in this game. They just aren't sure of themselves physically. They seem tentative. Arviza storyline, Dahlen, the big story tonight, 2 goals. San Jose scored quick in the first minute and a half of the second period. And no shots for Toronto. That's a big one. That 5-minute power play Toronto had in the first period. Nada, nothing, zilch, 0.
Well, Dougie Gilmour hasn't been the same effective player that we've seen, but something to keep in mind with Gilmour, he has not been on the ice for a practice since injuring his leg in Game 5 against the Chicago Blackhawks. It's the right side of his leg. It looked at first like it was a knee injury, it's an ankle injury, it's a leg injury, whatever it may be. There's a bench minor going over to San Jose.
Too many men on the ice.
We listen to the announcer. And Andy Van Hellemond, you know what? The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to get a bench penalty right now because one of their players looked like Mark Osborne. When the announcement was made, Mark Osborne had put his 2 hands together and started clapping.
Showing up the ref.
I just happened to be looking over there. Andy saw it the whole way, and Andy went over and made the call, and that's going to even out. Now it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey.
Well, Pat Burns has been ordered to send a player to the box, and he finally does it. Osborne will serve the penalty for Toronto, or will he? He hasn't entered the box yet. The door is open. Oh, he's leaving. All right. With 4:40 to go in the period, he'd rather go to the locker room. Well, he's leaving because of... Well, wait a minute. He's been given a 10-minute misconduct. So the Leafs will not be penalized from a manpower standpoint.
Yeah, they got a mistake up there on the... Yeah, I see. Okay, yeah.
In fact, Toronto will be put on the power play here.
That could have easily been a 2-minute minor, but Andy Van Hellemond has given the Maple Leafs a break in that respect, and they'll still have their power play.
That is a break. When I saw Osborne going to the locker room, I started thinking, wait a minute. I thought they called a minor, but he didn't. He called a 10-minute misconduct. Welcome back to San Jose with Darren Pang, Tom Mees, National Hockey Night, coming to you from the San Jose Arena. And it's been all Sharks tonight. 4-1 here, late in the second period with 4 minutes to go. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Here comes Dmitry Mironov now as the Leafs have 1:20 to go in the power play. That's Minor against Gartman against San Jose for too many men on the ice.
Good play by Jason Moore. Standing up in the neutral zone while shorthanded. This is a very confident Shark Hockey Club right now.
It's almost as if these two teams changed uniforms for game number 2.
Hear the crowd because of Irbe firing the puck finally out of his own zone. I think they're applauding him for that.
They don't give those goaltenders an even break here, I'm telling you. And now Mike Gartner getting a stick up on Andy Van Hellemond. Pushing him out of the way. Frustration coming to the floor, and Van Hellemond let it go. Andy Van Hellemond got him a bit of a high stick from Mike Gartner. As Goodrow sweep checks it into the Toronto zone, the Leafs with nary a shot on this power play. Wendell Clark stick handles around the defense. Centers in front. Rebound, and they score! I believe it's Borshevsky with his second goal of the night.
Borshevsky tapped in what was just a loose puck, and that has just silenced the crowd here at the arena. When it looked like the frustration of Toronto was setting in with Gartner going one-on-one with the referee Andy Van Hellemond, it was Wendell Clark that broke through on the far side with a great burst of speed. Carried it in deep again. The few times that they've been able to get it in deep. The initial shot by Doug Gilmour went off the crossbar, and Borshevsky just tapped home the rebound. Now Clark's going to feed it out in front, and there's Gilmour with the little tip in right up the crossbar, and bang, a little one-time on the half hop. And Borshevsky is able to tap it home with his second goal of the game.
16:59, assist go to Gilmour and Wendell Clark. That's why they teach you always keep your stick on the ice. When you're a youngster, good things can happen. And now here's another chance for Zezel, loose puck in the slot. McCall the shot, just wide of the stick side of Uhrberg. So the Maple Leafs get a goal late here in the period, and that will serve them well for the third chance and maybe get them up a little bit on their game. Makara headmans it to Garpenlov, and McRae intercepts. He goes down.
Oh, McRae just elbowed Garpenlov.
McRae went down, and right in front of referee Van Hellemond took a very, very ill-advised penalty. Let's check in with Steve Levy. Steve?
Tom Bees, thanks. Couple of goals to share with you. Off the Vancouver turnover, the Stars go the other way. Mike McPhee to Neil Broughton for the goal, 4-2 Dallas. But wait a second. Dallas this time can't clear the puck. And Brian Glynn comes up with a shot tipped home by Trevor Linden. So make it 4-3, middle of the hockey game. Tom and Darren.
All right, Steve, the Dallas Stars fighting for their playoff lives in that game. Down 2-zip on the road, and going to the penalty box to be McRae. Kenny McRae with a very, very ill-advised penalty. And Pat Burns has to be doing a slow burn over that one.
The thing about Toronto right now and Pat Burns is they have played awful in this hockey game. And they're in it still. It's just a 4-2 game, but now again, lack of discipline and frustration. Elbow by McRae leads to another power play by San Jose. This is their fourth power play. So far, 1 for 3 on the night. The Leafs have had 2 power play chances.
Yeah, McRae's had a tough night physically all night. I think it was just frustration overtaking common sense there. He didn't look to see if the referee was behind him, and he was right behind him. All right, Leafs clear the zone. Zezel is back. Checking in the San Jose zone. Trying to time the puck for a face-off, but they work it out. Peterson. This is Whitney at center. Out there with Dahlin and Ellick. Whitney taken down. San Jose fans wanted a penalty, but none called for. LaFay carries into Gilmour. Gilmour the shot off the blocker of Uhrberg. To the corner. Loose in front of Van Hellemond. Here comes Gilmour around the net, and Uhrberg pokes it off his stick. Gilmour again to Berg in front. What a pass by Gilmour if it would have worked. And all of that shorthanded. Now Gilmour and Goodrow going at it behind the play momentarily.
Gilmour was trying to get Andy to call a penalty. Andy looked the other way.
Ray Whitney behind the Shark net to Larionov. 55 seconds to go in the Toronto penalty to McRae. Martinov back to Norton in his own zone. And Rachuk forechecking there. Here comes Makara. Oh, Makara! His back pass, that was a tremendous skating move by Makarov, and his back pass eluded Ozolinsh.
And he was tripped up as well. Tripped up by Rouse and still tried to make a play with his stick while he was on the ice.
Ozolinsh from Makarov to the corner. 22 seconds left to go on the power play for San Jose. In front, the rebound, and Potvin holds his ground as Ozolinsh was there on the doorstep, and now Potvin shoves his stick at Kartvelov in the goal crease.
That's a good save by Potvin to end the period. In a game in which he hasn't been his sharpest, Felix Potvin right now has faced 19 shots. Garpenlov moving the puck over to Larionov. Larionov looking for Ozolinsh right in front. How many times does Sandis Ozolinsh move in from his point position? And the guys see the ice so well. Larionov just looks like he's looking the other way. Not to be, puts it right on the tape of Ozolinsh, and Ozolinsh can't even muster up a couple of more chances as he tries to. And right after that, it was, you're right, Tom, it was the frustration of Potvin that tried to throw his stick in the way of Ozolinsh right in front of the goal.
Potvin looks on. The Leafs, as bad as they played tonight, and I reference that in comparison to game number 2 of the series, not nearly as well as they played then. As bad as they're playing tonight, they're still in this game. Only down by 2. And Cronin's floater goes over the net. Surprise Potvin. McRae is coming out of the box right now. The penalty is over. So Toronto dodged the bullet.
There's no other way to talk about this game. A playoff game, it's just goofy. A goofy game so far.
Jamie McCown over the top of the net. 15 seconds to go in the period. 10 seconds to go in the period. Cronin doing some nice work, but that'll pretty much end it. Long shot by Gartner is a save by Irbe. And they're standing and cheering in San Jose after the second period. The San Jose Sharks score 3 times. The Toronto Maple Leafs score once. It's the Sharks by 2. Now let's go to Steve Levy and Barry Melrose in our studio.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
Then I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowicz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the National Hockey League, and by National Car Rental. At National, green means go.
And I think I was going to visit a local beach tomorrow. I don't know, with all these sharks around, you got to watch it. Shark-infested ice here at the Shark Tank in San Jose. So they get set for the third period. Sharks by 2, Darren.
Well, 1-1 at the end of 1, but early in the second period, Jamie Baker picks up a puck at the top of the circles. What to do? Fired on net. Gets past the stick side of Felix Potvin. 2-1 game. Ulf Dahlin then scores his first goal of the game to make it 3-1 on a backhand wraparounder. Another not-so-hot goal on Felix Potvin. At the end of that goal, they changed goalies for about 15 seconds, but Potvin came back in. Here comes Dahlin for his second of the game. Another stuff-in wraparound. Paid the price afterwards. How's it going for Toronto? Well, bouncing pucks, missed plays in the neutral zone, and efforts like this for the San Jose Sharks' Rob Goodrow.
Andy Van Hellemond set to drop the puck for the third period. Toronto's Maple Leafs came a long way to the West Coast for this 3-game set here in the middle of this series. I think they left something behind, at least for game 3. Jason Moore dumps it into the Toronto corner. Todd Gill is on it. I'm sure that Pat Burns did not wax very eloquent in that Toronto locker room there. And he's a very blunt man, gets his point across very succinctly.
You know, Tom, it's one of these situations, though, where, and I don't know exactly what Pat Burns says, but I don't think he would have had to say a whole lot. I think the leaders of Toronto would have gone in there and said enough as well. Quite clearly, San Jose Sharks are ready for this game, well prepared, and have played the game the way they play the game of hockey. But Toronto, in the meantime, they've not shown that burst of energy or the game plan they exhibited in Game 2 in Maple Leaf Gardens.
I saw the same type of situation last year in the Toronto series with Los Angeles. After the first 2 games, they headed west. And really, sort of mailed it in Game 3 out at the Forum, only to come back with a stellar effort in Game 4 to even that series. Loose puck at center, Bill Berg for Toronto. In front to Peter Cecil, but he was tied up effectively by Larionov. Checking line of Berg, Cecil, and Osborne. Maybe it's been Toronto's best tonight. Here's Makarov. Down the middle, Ozolic, the pass, the save, rebound! And Putman is on his peister. The shot is wide by Garpenlaw. Norton in front of the blue line, just keeping it in the zone. Dumps into the corner. Jamie McCown dumps to center. Oh boy, Potvin was left sitting in the goal crease. His action was continuing in front of him. Here comes Todd Ellick. Ellick the shot. Potvin the stick save, rebound off the Shane stick. Wendell Clark tries to clear it, can't do it. Finally, it does squirt to center. Todd Ellick. Oh, he slashes Mironov. That one got up around the face. No penalty call. If Van Helleman didn't see it, the Sharks got a break there. Dahlen will dump it around the boards, and Rouse is there for Toronto. This is Game 3, Western Conference semifinals. Series tied at 1.
Well, Tom, when is pretty too pretty? Well, the San Jose Sharks are a very creative hockey club, as we all know, with this one line. Now, the other guys sort of muck and plummet along, but Makarov has the puck now, crossing the blue line. He's going to feed Ozolic right here. Stop it here. Ozolic is right here, and he's got a chance to shoot the puck on the backhand. He elects to pass the puck. On that particular play, though, folks, you fire it. He was in all alone, and he would have had a good chance on Felix Putt. And again, sorry about the drawing, guys. We're having a little technical difficulty with that telestrator. But the point being, you're looking for the pretty play all the time. Why not shoot the puck at a goaltender that clearly hasn't been on top of his game?
Shots on goal in this game reflect the carrying of the play by San Jose, 21-12. And we're early here in the third period. 4-2 is the score. Bill Berg almost had a break in, but it was over his stick. Jeff Norton at center. McRae runs into him. Todd Gill up to Baumgartner at center. Parker's here, Bay to Jeff Norton. Norton takes a hard hit from Baumgartner after the pass. And out comes Jason Moore. Moore is 2-on-2 into the zone, gets around McRae, and now McRae catches up to him. Bob Murray behind the net. Jamie Baker can't keep it in the Toronto zone. Baker, one of the goal scorers tonight. He has one, Harry has one, and Ulf Dahlen has two. Nikolai Borshevsky has both Toronto goals. Into the corner for Ozolic. Baumgartner takes it away. Peter Cecil behind the San Jose net, but Larionov clears it. Sylvain Lefebvre dumps it right back in for Ozolic. Puck clear down to the Toronto end. Lefebvre goes back to get it. 16-14 to go in the third. 4-2 San Jose.
Again, Tom, you look at the system right now of San Jose. 1-4 checker in. You're going to try to force the Maple Leafs in the neutral zone, stay up at the blue line, and cause a dump in. And if you hold up your men properly, you're going to get the puck, and you're going to go the other way.
That's exactly what happened as you were talking about it. They stood up at the blue line, got the turnover, and here they come. Dahlen in front to breaking Duchesne. It almost clicked. Knocked over Duchesne's stick. Gardner and Krona getting into it center. Boy, Mike Gardner is really being frustrated tonight. And there's another turnover at the blue line.
That'll be the key for San Jose and Kevin Constantine, Wayne Thomas, the coaches for San Jose. When you have a lead, you're able to play this way. It's a very simple system, one used by a lot of teams this year with a lot of success.
Sandis Ozolic just dumps it the other way. Whitney, he's onside. Who's he going to get it to? No one, because Rouse is right there. And over the glass into the crowd. 15-11 to go in the third. San Jose by 2.
Table 7-8. And remember, 7, you're playing for Bud Light, ladies. The boys are back in town.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
Welcome back to the San Jose Arena with the Sharks leading this one 4-2. You utilize a system. What works for you in the regular season? This does. Todd Gill's the puck carrier. He's going to try to get it across the blue line. You stop it there. You see how many guys. Now he's one-on-one. Makarov is on him as well. As the puck goes in, there's no chance whatsoever for Toronto to regain control of the puck. This is perfect for San Jose.
They force the Toronto puck carrier over to one side of the ice, if I read it right, Darren, and then they surround you and force you to make a pass, oftentimes not connecting with a teammate, and they break up the play. I hope I read that right. Bounce to the point. There goes the goal on top of Irbe. And Whitney comes over and says, I got to protect my goalie. Get that thing off his leg.
That darn net is big and it's heavy. And when you don't expect it, it comes crumbling down on your back. Little Archer Zirbe is going to be much littler than that. 5'8". One thing about Archer Zirbe, following each and every game, Archer Zirbe, he's not done yet. He hasn't completed his message. He does 300 stomach crunchies, and he bench presses 190 pounds several times. And Irbe on the overhead shot. Irbe good positioning on top of his crease, but behind the play, Gilmore and Moore have a little altercation, and the net falls over, just losing his balance is Moore, and it falls on top of that guy, number 32, maybe the most popular number on the West Coast, Kelly Rudy, for the Los Angeles Kings, and of course Irbe here in San Jose.
Let's not forget number 99 for the game.
Goalies.
Oh, okay. Glad you clarified that.
Goalies.
That's right, the most important position on the team, the goalie. How can I read that any other way?
Well, 32 is not exactly the most popular number for goalies, but two guys have made it pretty comfortable.
The Leafs cleared out of play for a face-off. Our Budweiser Stanley Cup celebrate tonight from San Jose. Vancouver leading Dallas in the series, but they trail after 2 periods in game number 3 in Vancouver. The Rangers, well, nobody's beaten them yet. You wonder who has the talent to beat them in a series. We shall see. Potvin and Richter each have 3 shutouts, but as we mentioned earlier tonight, this has not been one of Felix Potvin's nights to remember. And the ultimate insult, I guess, to our fans watching in the Motor City tonight.
Well, you have to credit San Jose in that series. They played a system. They followed that system. I'm not sure if Detroit made many adjustments to get around that system. Hey, you win a 7th game, you give a team a whole lot of credit, especially on away ice. Joe Louis Arena.
Nikolai Borshevsky at center. Bothered by Makarov. Makarov, one of Borshevsky's idols, when Borshevsky was but a lad. Makarov was on those great Central Red Army teams in the former Soviet Union. And McCown gives it away to Garpenlov, and lives to tell about it as he recoups it in the corner. Makarov, Marianov in front, hits the leg of the defenseman. Sylvain Lefebvre back to center. This is Jeff Gordon.
Good matchup there with Larionov and Gilmore. 2 of the most talented centermen on their respective clubs.
Gordon back in his own zone. Backhands it to center. Again, the Sharks with a 2-goal lead. It doesn't matter where the game is played. Make the point there with their system. They're in the catbird seat. They get a 2-goal lead. Another center ice turnover, and Norton just dumps it in.
It's like barbed wire in the neutral zone. Your foot caught on it, you're stuck there for a little while.
Dave Ellen tries to get around Todd Ellen, but can't do it. Peterson comes up with it. O'Donnell mucking and grinding for it. Gardner takes it away. You play this kind of system and you're the team behind, you just have to hope to work and maybe get a turnover. And then take advantage of it should that rare occurrence happen.
You better, because they won't come very often. Already, you know, this game is, well, we're in the 3rd period with 12 minutes left, and 12 shots on goal is all Toronto has on Archer Zirbe.
And let's not forget that Sunday Night Baseball will be just up the road from San Jose, Candlestick Park, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. One of the great rivalries in sports. The Dodgers and the Giants, Piazza and Barry Bonds. renewed on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. Sunday Night Baseball from the stick tomorrow night. There's a look at Aldala, one of the heroes tonight, obtained in that trade from Dallas late in the season.
Pretty talented player. Every time Dolan goes by me, he has to mention that he's got a puck hanging on his wall that says first NHL hat trick. Goalie, Darren Pang.
No, really?
Every time he sees me, he reminds me of that.
What a guy.
That guy.
That's good for a slash across the ankle next time he comes through your crease, right?
Wasn't that kind of guy, Tom.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Billy Smith. I'm sorry. Jamie McCown dumps into the San Jose zone, but right back out with it is Garpenlov. McCown deep in his own zone. Lefay up to Gilmore. Over the stick of Hervé. Andrechuk has not been much of a force in this game. Gilmore with it behind it up to Borshevsky. Shooting for the hat trick. He couldn't get the shot away. And the Sharks will clear it. Here's Larionov. 7:40 to go in the third. Kozolins carry Gilmore into the corner. McCown, I should say, into the corner. Andrechuk in center. Bouncer in on here. He gets behind him, and he's run over by Osborne. Mark Osborne ran him down. Play goes on. Arthur Zerbe may not be tall, but he stood tall in that confrontation when he was run into by, check the number of that truck, Rob Pearson of Toronto. Gray into the corner. Centers for Baumgartner. He didn't see it. Hervé will cover it up. Cronin and Baumgartner get their sticks up. We'll be back in a moment. National Hockey Night from the San Jose Arena. Little Arthur Zerbe got run over.
Well, this is a great flip play by Andrechuk. The only way the Maple Leafs can get it in deep, and Pearson was just following through with the puck. Didn't see where Hervé was, tackled him, bowled him right over, just like we saw in between periods here at the arena, that human bowling ball exhibition we saw. But Hervé stands tall. That's why he lifts the weights after the games, I guess.
Face off back to Ellen at the point. Goes wide. Todd Gill at the right point. Eastwood treated Grubauer behind the net. The Sharks take it away from him. Whitney in center. On pass to Bob Airy. Airy the shot. High over the net. Jamie Baker tries to get there. Eastwood without a stick. Still plays in the center.
Same area that Airy had scored to begin this hockey game 3 minutes into it. Far side going across the grain to the glove side.
Wendell Clark tries to do it himself. Wendell Clark crashes the net and almost did it himself.
Good rush by Wendell Clark. That's what's needed now for Toronto. An individual, a great heroic individual effort. I guess it doesn't matter though. It could be a mucking and grinding play, but they need something right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if Clark is the guy to do it. That's why he wears the C. Remember Game 6 against the LA Kings last year. Olynyk lost. Toronto was down 4-2. Late third period. Clark scored 2 late goals to tie that one up and sent to overtime before Los Angeles won it.
Bad news though. It's a different year.
Yeah. Bouncer in on Hervé. Rebound to Senzel. And Senzel couldn't get good one on it. Oh, Hervé failed to handle that one. Beware the bouncing puck. Bill Bird from his stomach still tries to make a play. Can't do it. Larionov up to Ozolin. Garpenlov tied up by Lefay momentarily. Lefay with a stick to Garpenlov's back. Knocks him off balance. And Senzel is there for Toronto. Hey, let's go. 9:17 to go. Third period. 4-2. San Jose. Gilmore to Osborne. Tied up by Jason Moore. They suffocate you in the Shark zone.
Larionov that whole time came back to his own zone. Stuck on Doug Gilmore. Wouldn't let him go. Good defensive responsibility by some of the key guys on the Sharks.
And I asked Kevin Constantine this morning, will you assign someone to shadow Doug Gilmore? He says, I don't believe in shadows. I just tell him, look, Doug Gilmore's on the ice. Whoever's on him, you got to pick it up a bit or you're going to get used and I figure that they'll get the message. Well, you see, they're underway in Vancouver, third period. Dallas, most people would agree, has to win that game tonight to have any realistic chance of winning that series. They trail 2 games to none.
And if San Jose has any realistic chance of winning this one, they've got to stop that guy, 93, Doug Gilmour. Arthur Zerbe had a couple of chances and made the stops necessary. Crunch time now. Little rolling puck, though, again, gave him some troubles. And on the follow-through, Peter Zezel followed through and just missed it. But it was Wendell Clark's great rush end-to-end. After the pass from Gardner, Clark had a good chance in close. Zerbe makes the save.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Let's roll and punch your burn for the goalies, aren't they, Darren?
They are, because, you know, pucks are frozen before game time to lessen the bounce. But come, you know, let's say you spend 15 or 20 minutes and the puck hasn't left the surface, that puck is still less froze, so it bounces a little bit more.
Bounce inside the red line, so he'll dump it in. Sharks dumping right out again. Playing their style, their system that Darren Pang has talked about. Rouse touches up. Icing will be the call on San Jose. 8:12 to go in the third period. It's still a 2-goal Shark lead.
Food and a fanatically good time are planned for you here at round 2 of the
Stanley Cup playoff action continues tomorrow on ESPN. The Rangers and Washington Capitals game 4. The Caps face elimination to Mark Messier and the Rangers. And tomorrow night on ESPN 2, it'll be game number 4. The Devils and Bruins. The Bruins lead that series 2-1. Remember that Devil Bruin game on the Deuce at 7 o'clock Eastern, a half hour earlier than usual, 7 Eastern time. Here's the shot in front, and Duchesne sticks it just wide. Wow, just like that, the Sharks are on the doorstep, and the Leafs dodge the bullet there. Irbe way out of his net with Gardner breaking in. Took a bit of a chance.
That was a good play by Irbe, though. He read the situation. Gardner being so fast, he made the right play in coming out of the net.
Good team shot by Alec from the point. Hunt Vincent made the save. Sharks go for a line change. Gilmour into the San Jose zone. 7.5 minutes to go. Irbe has one deflect right toward the 5-hole. He covered up with a glove.
Boy, that was a tricky play because it went off the skate of his defenseman, Jeff Norton. And Irbe just got a glove on it. And before that, the San Jose Sharks mustered up some offense. They haven't done so. They've been protecting the lead, so no reason to. But Dahlin shot on goal. Perfect tip by Alec. And a good save by Potvin. And then Duchesne sniffs in the rebound. Can't get a shot on goal. But Alec doing a nice job of just going towards the net. And Dahlin's having a terrific game. Not only with the 2 goals, but he's played well along the boards. And Potvin, the guy on the spot for the Maple Leafs, he's had a brilliant postseason. Right now, shots on goal, 25-15. Some of his teammates ought to come back and introduce himself after this game. They really haven't showed up for this contest.
No, you're right. Now, we don't mean to beat a dead horse, but the horse looks dead out there. Here's Lefebvre. The shot off the side of the net. For a split second, visually, it looked like it was in the net, but it hit the outside of the mesh. And now there's a scrum going on in the crease. Zezel is on top of one of the Sharks and won't get up.
Well, he was looking for his stick. His stick was underneath Jamie Baker. So I guess he figures, well, heck, if I don't have my stick and Baker's got it underneath him, I'll just straddle him a little bit. Sit on him.
And Van Hellemond did not call a penalty.
You were talking about horses so long, I think he got the drift.
Yeah.
From the face-off again, and face-offs are awfully important. Baker's been one of the top face-off men for San Jose, going against the best guy for Toronto. Zezel wins the war, and right from the face-off, it's Baker that holds on to the end of Zezel's stick. That's called holding the stick.
Should have been a penalty.
Yeah, but
should have been a penalty.
See how sly these guys are? You see it clear as day.
Yep.
And no wonder Zezel shows some frustration. You're only human. The only human that he gets away with sitting on top of Baker.
Yeah, that's a good no call, because there should have been a penalty call on Baker to begin with, and there wasn't. Good. Irbe out of his net. Backhands it by Gilmour, but right on the stick of Bill Berg. Gilmour's out there with Bergen on his point now. For Toronto, here's Whitney in center. He'll dump in. Harry goes down on his own volition. Under 7 minutes to go, and time has become a factor for Toronto as Whitney and Mironov check out the complexion of the plexiglass behind the Toronto goal.
Ray Whitney's played a pivotal part in the resurgence of the San Jose Sharks. And Bob Airey, the captain, 2 Stanley Cup championships with the Pittsburgh Penguins, leads by example and chipping in with a goal in tonight's game. San Jose Sharks have to be awfully excited with what's happening here. And you know, there shouldn't be much of a surprise if they're winning this game. They're legitimate. And they took advantage of some poor goaltending and poor play by Toronto early on. They get a lead, they're strong, and they believe in themselves. And that's the key.
And when they fall behind, they don't panic. Look what they did against the Red Wings in this building. They were down 2 goals in Game 4 of that series, came back to win it. That may be their defining moment all year. LeFay to Baumgartner. And Irving covers up on the crease. And Baumgartner and McRae get things started of a physical fashion. And Van Hellemon's pointing to Baumgartner saying, you, sir, are gone. Get to the penalty box.
If there's a line that Baumgartner should be playing tough on, if there's a line, it's this one right here. You play tough against the skilled players. You try to eliminate these kind of players. And I know it's not perfect timing, but Baumgartner's out there. He plays his role. He takes the body, and he's going to go off for slashing in this situation. Makarov also, after the play, sort of swung around and had a stick on Baumgartner. Well, I'm trying to find out where exactly the slash is. Baumgartner was just trying to pounce on a loose puck that was in front of Irbe, and if it was the slash right here, I don't think it should be, because that puck was loose for a second. And then Baumgartner sees his line mate, McRae, going off against Norton. But Baumgartner, I don't know how he got the slashing call on that.
Well, slashing there wasn't any, but there was something that Andy Van Hellemond didn't like, and the Sharks are going on the power play again. And by the time Pat Burns and the Maple Leafs get out of this city, win or lose, they'll have heard enough. I don't think they'll ever watch the movie Jaws again.
This is something.
It really is. The whole town is into this. It is really a happening. As McCown is in, short-handed. It almost shut everybody up. It could have got wood on that one from the slot. Dahlin over to Whitney, onside. Good roll, the other forward out there, Ellikin Peterson. Dahlin behind the net. Oh, Dahlin going for the hat trick, and Potvin covers up momentarily, eliciting the whistle with 1:33 to go on the penalty to Baumgartner.
Well, Dahlin's not happy with the 2 goals he scored so far, looking for goal number 3. And again on a wraparound, that's perfect because that's Dahlin's game. His strength protecting the puck, going for the wraparound. And on this occasion, Potvin got his stick down quicker than what we've seen in the first 2 goals scored by Dahlin. And Potvin makes the save.
Who is that young lady? That's Christy Yamaguchi. And no, she's not going to Disney World. She's here at the San Jose Arena. Of course, our 1992 Olympic gold medalist in women's figure skating. Christy Yamaguchi, a Californian and a big Sharks fan. She's all decked out in that teal jersey. She's right with it.
Well, I'm noticing what kind of great seat she has right here. Right along the glass.
You suppose she could give skating lessons to the Maple Leafs tonight?
Well, right now, Toronto, it's a disappointment in the fact that they're coming out of a game. Obviously, they need to win here in the 2-3-2 system that's now employed by the National Hockey League when you're going from the Central Division over to the Pacific. You have to win one here in Toronto's case. First one would have been a perfect opportunity, but they've been the flatter team of the 2, no question about it.
In the previous series, Detroit came in here 1-1. They won Game 3 right away and felt that, okay, they proved their point.
Again, Larionov and Gilmore. Yeah. And Makarov standing up for his line mate.
Here come the backup musicians into the fray. And Van Hellemond's not going to put up with anything. He's making his point. He lectured Makarov, and he pulled the jersey of Garpenlov. You love this action? We got lots more for you tomorrow at ESPN. It'll be the Rangers and Capitals, game number 4 from the USA Arena as the Capitals try and stay alive. Rangers lead the series 3 games to none. That's at 7:30 Eastern time. On ESPN 2 at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, it'll be the New Jersey Devils and the Boston Bruins as the Devils try and pull even in that series at Boston Garden. That's pucks galore tomorrow at ESPN and ESPN 2. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this one, game 3. Western Conference semis, San Jose and Toronto. And the Sharks can spell victory. You know what happens when a Shark gets the set? They go for the kill. San Jose on the power play now, but frankly haven't done much with the man advantage this time. Gilmore to Andrechuk. He's wide glove side. Dave Ellett gets it to Gilmore. somehow Gilmore gets it to Rouse. And Rouse is bodied off by Norton on a good play. And Van Hellemond is whistling to play down and motioning for the face-off to come out of the zone.
Gilmore was skating through the neutrals, not through the right in the slot, and it was Ozolinsh that had a stick on his, looked like it right around his elbow, and he got hooked down. Gilmore went down, and so we'll see a little bit of 4-on-4 hockey for the next 43 seconds, and then the Maple Leafs will have the power play.
Andy did not raise his hand there. That's why I wasn't aware he called a penalty on Ozolinsh, but a penalty it is.
See, there's the stick on the right-hand side, and Gilmore's a smart competitor, and he did take a dive after the initial hook. And I mean, here's the opportunity to take a dive. Why not go for it right then and see if you can get something going? So Ozolinsh goes off for hooking, and as I said, 4-on-4. The speedy Mike Gartner on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs. How about some of the key players for Toronto? Unofficially, Clark has 1 shot in this game. Andreychuk has no shots. He just missed on a long one. Gartner has nothing to go for in shots on goal. Dave Ellett, their highest scoring defenseman, no shots on goal as well in this game.
That sort of mirrors San Jose's frustration in game 2. In Toronto, you had Makarov, no shots on goal. Right. Garpenlov only had 2 shots on goal, and Larionov had no shots. So I guess turnabout's fair play. Here's the Shark Tank. He thinks we're in for quite a series here, Darren. As you know, Toronto will be back in game 4. They're a very resilient team as well. Not that this one is over yet. Still 4:47 to go. Clark and Gartner into the zone. Gartner with a shot. Irving gets a piece of it. Irving into the corner. Makarov is there. Norton up to Larionov. Peterson sticked away by Lefay. 5 seconds. The Maple Leafs will have the extra man. Gartner gets ready to come out. He's out. Toronto's on the power play for the next minute 15. Very important minute 15. But it's the Sharks coming into the Toronto zone. Flagging some time off the clock. Sean Cronin will dump back. Fans appreciate the work of their penalty killers as Gilmore comes to center. Borshevsky on right wing. Center's in front. Nobody home. Ellett keeps it in. Mironov to Borshevsky. And Irving makes the save and covers up on the rebound.
Oh, boy. How great is support like this? That just makes you feel like you're 7'5" and you can stop anything that comes your way. Dave Ellett moves the puck over to Mironov on the right side. Pass goes across right to Borshevsky. Now look at the positioning of Irbe. How about making it look easy? Standing up, having the patience to stand up, not go down prematurely. And as the Toronto Maple Leafs have said, in close, we like to go high on Irbe. Nothing to shoot at. When you stay up like that on your feet, there's nowhere to go. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are. Patience for Irbe is the key.
Duchesne tries to get it out of the zone, can't do it. 30 seconds left on the penalty to San Jose, Sanders Ozolinsh. Finally they do clear it, and Andreychuk starts to play again. Borshevsky to Gilmore. Moore has lost his helmet. That's okay, ties Gilmore up. Gilmore in the corner, always looking to center. He's got 13 assists in the playoffs. Gilmore. 8 seconds to go, and a penalty to San Jose, and the shot deflects over the goal. 4 seconds, Ozolinsh will be out. Ellett at the point, penalty is over. Mironov the shot, a rocket over the net. Ellett keeps it in the San Jose zone, but the Sharks have dodged another shorthanded situation. And the din continues here at the arena.
Ear piercing.
For a sustained noise, this has been the loudest building I've seen in the playoffs so far. As the whistle stops play with 2:34 to go, the Sharks leading by 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's wrestle!
Hi, Rick. Hey, Brian. How are the wife and kids? How's your mom? Good. She says hi. Good.
And the winner of tonight's match receives Ice Cold Bud Light. Bud Light!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
It's the time of the game we all wait for, the Pringles storyline. And what a storyline we have tonight. Ulf Dahlin with 2 goals. His first 2 of this series. Bob Airey, a goal and an assist. San Jose's 2 goals early in the second period really put them on top as far as momentum. And this crowd has not let them lose that momentum.
San Jose's been outshot in their first 9 playoff games. And what's the story tonight? Well, of course, they're outshot 26-19.
Well, they're outshooting Toronto. That's the story. They're out shooting Toronto tonight, 26-19. Here's Ulf Dahlin on a 2-on-1. Dahlin scores! There's a lot of firsts for the San Jose Sharks in this season. Ulf Dahlin just got the first playoff hat trick.
Great patience off the wing, and once he gets in tight now, Todd Gill, the defenseman, has allowed him to go in one-on-one. He's looking for Todd Ellick, but he waits and has patience, turns his feet, and then goes high to the glove side on a tremendous play by Ulf Dahlin. As you said, the first hat trick in San Jose's playoff history, and of course, only 9 games old. But what the heck?
Dahlin from Peterson at 17:38. While they clean up the debris on the ice, let's check in with Steve Levy. Steve?
Tom, thanks. To Vancouver we go for some coast-to-coast action. I mean it. Neil Broughton looking for a hat trick of his own on the backhander. It's knocked away. Then we go down the other way. Trevor Linden with Jyrki Lumme. Here's Linden. Linden would get the puck back. Finds Jeff Courtnall, the stop down at the other end to keep it remaining 4-3. We'll take you to Vancouver right after our game.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. They're still cleaning up the hats. You know, I was at Chicago Stadium for Game 4 of the Toronto-Chicago series when Gary Suter had a hat trick. And I thought I saw a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of chapeaus on the ice then. This is unbelievable.
Really is something. I had to take off my headphones just to kind of listen and enjoy the atmosphere here at the Shark Tank. But again, Dahlin moving in, and this buries the Maple Leafs for this one. Say goodnight. But Dahlin goes in on the reverse angle. It's a 2-on-1. Todd Gill does his job. He takes the pass away that might go to Ellick. Any goalie will tell you, you take the pass away, I'll take the shooter. And Dahlin makes the right play. It's 1-on-1. It's Dahlin against Potvin. And Potvin's strong suit is his glove side. But Dahlin, he's got a hot pistol, and he fires it high over the glove side for the trick.
Ulf Dahlin was a part of a team, a sub-500 team, Darren, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. He was on the Minnesota North Stars with teammate now Gaetan Duchesne. And they both told me this morning that the atmosphere surrounding this team and the way they've come on late in the year is the same atmosphere they went through with Minnesota a few years ago.
Well, you know what I'm wondering right now? Doug Gilmour, as he takes the face-off, wondering why he's still on the ice.
Because he's a competitor. You make a good point, but I can tell you why. He never wants to give up. And make no mistake about this, the Toronto Maple Leafs will find whatever was missing tonight, and they will show up for Game 4 with a maximum effort. You better load the cannons because they will be here on Sunday evening.
Common sense, though, says get out of the lineup. He hasn't since that injury in Game 5.
Well, you're absolutely right. I'm not disagreeing. Puck leaves the playing surface, and we don't even hear the whistle for a face-off. It's so loud in this building.
And there's Gilmour and Ellick. Tommy, the word competitiveness comes to mind, but Gilmour right at Ellick right after the play. Gilmour, all 165 pounds of him. Going at Ellick, but Potvin as well. He's given up 5 goals in this contest. At one point in the game, after Dolan had made it 3-1, Pat Burns had taken out Potvin for just 15 to 20 seconds. Leave it to this crowd. They're going. They're rolling here. And well, they should be. They ought to be a very proud community. They've done a great job here this year.
Here come the Maple Leafs. Maybe one last charge into the San Jose zone. Eastwood to Clark. He shoots it flying glove side. 5-2. The San Jose Sharks appear to be on the verge of going up in the series 2-1. And the goal is empty. Potvin has been put on the bench with a 3-goal deficit. This is interesting. The Sharks take aim. Erie wide with the empty net.
Wow, what a tip by Dave Ellett. He stopped that from going in the open net.
This is interesting, Darren. You're down by 3 and you pull your goaltender.
I guess it says something about Pat Burns. You were talking about why is Doug Gilmour on the, why was he on the ice? It's because Pat Burns says we're not quitting on this, and here comes Doug Gilmour.
Dave Ellett into the slot. Gilmour at the doorstep. Rebound. Irving Clark tries to bat it in. It goes wide. And the Leafs aren't giving up. Under a minute to play. Andrechuk shot batted down. And Moore just lost it to center.
Oh, boy. Ellett just gave Odgers a shot.
And here comes Odgers back at Ellett. And there goes the linesman. And we got a fight.
Doug Gilmour and Ozolinsh.
This is getting ugly now.
Oh, Bob Erie's got his jersey off, and he's trying to jump in.
Look at Gilmour. Look at Gilmour. One-on-one.
Gilmour and Ozolinsh. Oh, boy. What a size disadvantage that is.
Gilmour better hope they break this one up.
Well, none of his teammates see it. Now Gardner. Hey, Gardner's third man in on this one.
There are a lot of third men in on these.
Yeah, I guess there is.
With under a minute to go, they figure, what the heck? They throw me out of this one, it's over anyway. I'm going to get my licks in. Well, this is what you call laying down a calling card for Game 4.
You bet it is. You know, it's easy to sit back here and say, why? Why this? It's because the emotions are plenty. It's what we're going to see for Sunday. Tom, you were talking about the Maple Leafs getting ready. You know what, though? San Jose has answered the bell every time. So impressed with how they've handled every situation.
As Jeff Odgers and Wendell Clark go to the penalty box, I noticed at the end of the second period, Odgers and Gilmour had a little tete-a-tete, a little one-on-one, talking things over at the very end of the second period.
Look at Ozolinsh has got Gilmour's jersey to the back of his pants.
Yeah. He could sell that for a few bucks.
Oh, there it goes. Just fell off him. That's Doug Gilmour's jersey.
Oh, look at Gilmour. He's pointing. He's pointing at the San Jose bench. He wants some of them. Doug Gilmour, a fiery competitor. And he's pointing at some individual, or maybe the whole bench. He'd take them all on. Don Cherry's in the building tonight. He's got to love this.
This is natural. He wants to leave the... I think he wants to leave the arena. He wants that jersey back. He wants to go back in the locker room. Now there's some words on the off the ice.
Security personnel telling him to leave. If I was a security guard, I'd watch it.
Well, this is just... It's simple. It's frustration, but it's pride as well. The Toronto Maple Leafs, quite simply, didn't play a very good hockey game. They didn't get things going. They played poorly from the start of this game, and the San Jose Sharks were ready for it. They countered with everything, and this is the beginning of what happened. On the close boards, Erie's in there, Odgers is in there, and this is Dave Ellett giving him the right hand after Ellett had lost his stick, and that started everything. Then Ellett, Odgers, then Gilmour came in, and what have you. But while the Sharks were clearing the zone, that's when Dave Ellett had given an extra shot, and quite frankly, in their position, you can't blame them. This is playoff hockey. Oh my, Dan Shackey just went down for a loop.
He took a tumble, didn't he?
Clark, See Clark there? Oh, lots of stuff happened.
We'll be back for the resumption of this fight in a moment. San Jose with Darren Pang, Tom Mees, less than a minute to play in this one. San Jose is going to win it and take a 2-1 series lead right after we're through here with the Maple Leafs and Sharks Sports Center coming your way. So stay tuned for that. All the Major League Baseball highlights, NBA playoff news, and Stanley Cup action as well. And here's a look at Ozolinsh with an extra jersey.
That's the jersey of Doug Gilmour. Ozolinsh and Gilmour had squared off one-on-one before Mike Gartner jumped in there. Gilmour's jersey fell down, just like the Maple Leafs have fallen down in this contest tonight at the Shark Tank. What a place.
Just to clarify, this is a great place. There's another big game going on in Vancouver, and before we go to Sports Center, when we're done here in San Jose, we're going to take you to the end of that Dallas-Vancouver game. Right now it is 4-3 Dallas in the third period. Dallas trailing that series 2-0. They desperately need that game. Arturs Irbe. 5'8", but he's got the courage of a 7-footer. This is a guy, friends, from Latvia who went into the streets of his hometown and demonstrated against the Russian occupation troops. He quit the Russian hockey team in protest of the occupation of his homeland and had the coup toppled Gorbachev at the time. Irbe admits he may have been sent to Siberia. The coup didn't work. He got out of the country. He's in the NHL, and they love him in San Jose.
Tom, you don't think that mental toughness helps if you give up 7 goals or 5 goals? You bounce back because you've been through a whole heck of a lot in your life.
Absolutely. He really appreciates what it is to come to North America, play the game he loves, and earn the lifestyle he has earned. And listen to this crowd in the final 30 seconds. The Sharks are going to go up 2-1 in this series. Penalty stops play with 3.4 seconds left. Bill Berg will be sent to the box. And the crowd disappointed they didn't get a chance to build to the crescendo. You wonder what's going through that man's mind. He's the coach of the Sharks, Kevin Constantine. And the players just waiting to congratulate the others and their goaltender, Arturs Irbe.
Wayne Thomas, the assistant coach, the goaltending coach. He's a guru in teaching goaltenders. Having a talk over there with Arturs Irbe. But you're right, Bill Berg went off. No, I'm sorry, Osborne went off.
And Irbe's got to hurry up and get back in his net. There's the other side of the coin, Pat Burns.
Well, look back to that 5-minute major they had in the first period, and they couldn't get a shot on goal. How crucial was that? Maybe that told us something that, hey, heck, they weren't ready for this one.
And the Sharks lead this series 2-1. It's great to be in San Jose if you're a Shark. The final score, San Jose 5, Toronto 2. San Jose leads this best of 7, 2-1. For Darren Pang, I'm Tom Mees. Let's go to our studio and Steve Levy.